All right, guys, we are back, and I want to talk about Canelo Alvarez. Guys, I'm shaking my head right now. I'm shaking my head at the stuff that's going on with Canelo Alvarez because it's just apparent to me that Canelo Alvarez doesn't want to fight David Benavidez. And it should be apparent to some of you fans as well. And I think it is because he's starting to lose fans about this situation left and right. He's starting to lose fans. Some of the fans are getting up and walking away from Canelo Alvarez. And it's because of his actions. He doesn't want to face the best competition. You're out there calling yourself the face of boxing. But when it comes to the mandatory challenger, the guy that, most of the boxing fans want to see you face, you're tucking tail and you're running. Now, I don't have a problem with his next fight. He's fighting Jaime Munguia. I don't have a problem with that fight. I think that fight's competitive, but in all honesty, he should be fighting David. He should be fighting David right now, and he just seems like he's not going to do it. Now, recently, I think it was after the press conference with Jaime Munguia, he came out and said that David Benavidez brings nothing to the table. He said he brings something to the table but 25 pounds, and he'd fight him for what, 150 million to 200 million dollars. That's the only way he's going to get a fight, basically, which confirms in a lot of people's eyes, including my own, that he doesn't want the smoke. He views David Benavidez as a threat, and he knows that he has everything to lose in that fight, so he's not going to entertain that fight. So he's tucking tail and running scared. He's afraid. He's afraid of fighting David Benavidez. And I know some of you guys are still reluctant to believe that. You say things like Canelo Alvarez can do what he wants. And like I said, he can do what he wants, but it's going to taint his legacy. And you can see it already starting. I saw some of it at the press conference where a lot of people were cheering for Jaime Munguia, and it was like crickets for Canelo Alvarez because people, the jig is up. They understand what he's doing out here. He's cherry picking, and he doesn't want to fight guys who would give him a good fight. Not saying that David would beat him. Maybe he could beat David, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to find out if he can or can't because he doesn't believe in himself. And I wholeheartedly believe that he doesn't believe in himself when it comes to that guy. Now, he may believe in himself fighting a guy like Jaime Munguia, but a guy like David Benavidez, no way. A guy like Bivol, he's probably not going to get back in the ring with Bivol. I would be surprised if he would give Dimitri Bivol a rematch, but he probably feels it's a bad style matchup. Same thing with Crawford. He won't entertain that fight as well. He would have entertained the Errol Spence Jr. matchup, but he won't entertain Terrence Bud Crawford, And I think a lot of it has to do with Eddie Reynoso. Eddie Reynoso saying, no, this is a bad style matchup for you. David Benavidez is a bad style matchup for you. Guys like Jaime Munguia, those type of guys, John Ryder, those guys are tailor-made for you. So we're going to go this route. They've been getting away with that so long, and now fans and his peers are calling him to the carpet, and it all's been revealed. I said this before and in some other videos. All has been revealed. Canelo Alvarez is ducking his mandatory challenger. And my question is, where is the WBC? When are they going to strip Canelo Alvarez of that title because he doesn't want to face his mandatory challenger? They don't have any problems doing with anyone else. So what are they waiting on? My thing is this. I'm a fan of Canelo Alvarez, but if he doesn't want to face the best competition, drop the belts. Drop the belts, get out of the way, and let these guys fight each other to become champions, because you're doing a disservice not only to the division but to the sport of boxing in general. We can't see the best competition face each other at 168 because you want to play this game. Now, David Benavidez did respond to Canelo Alvarez. I want to read what he said here about the fighting him for 150 to 200 million dollars and not, him not bringing anything to the table. So he says here, if I have nothing to offer, then why are you demanding you get 150 to 200 million to fight someone who isn't worth anything? Hopefully after you make that 150 million, you have enough left over to buy a pair of nuts. to buy a pair of nuts. So that was his response, and I have to agree with him. When it comes to David Benavidez, he has no heart. He has no heart, and I don't like to harp on Canelo Alvarez about stuff like this. I like him as a fighter. I think he has a tremendous skill set. He just doesn't have the heart, man. He just doesn't. He wants to take the easy road. He wants to take the road less traveled. And a lot of boxers want to do that. But when you're in a position like he is in, where he is seen as the face of boxing, you have to be held to a higher standard. You have to be held to a higher standard. And, some of his fans don't believe that. They don't think he should be held to a higher standard because, that doesn't matter to them. As long as he's winning, that's all that matters. The competition doesn't have to be good competition. They just want to see Canelo Alvarez win, go in and bulldoze a guy who's not competitive. That's what they want. But true boxing heads want good competition. We don't want to pay to see a fight we already know who's going to be victorious in the fight. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully, I think in this fight, I'm going to root for Jaime Munguia in this fight. Now, typically, I would root for Canelo Alvarez, but in this instance, I think I'll root for Jaime Munguia. So, maybe if Jaime Munguia wins, the division, can continue. We can get some good fights in the division for titles. Canelo Alvarez is just holding up the division. He's holding up the division. I think he's the problem right now. Guys like him are a problem in the sport of boxing. It stagnates the division. And so far, we've been off to a rocky start this year in the sport of boxing. But that is my take on it. We'll see what happens May 4th. I doubt if Jaime can beat Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is a superior fighter in my estimation. I just think Jaime Munguia is not going to just lay down and let him have it, though. Jaime Munguia is going to fight. But, just disillusioned with the stuff with Canelo Alvarez and him and his, blatant duck of his mandatory challenger and the WBC not holding up their end and doing what they're supposed to do as a sanctioning body. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this situation. Are you going to pay for the Jaime Munguia fight? Would you rather see him face David Benavidez? Do you not have a problem with Canelo Alvarez not facing his mandatory challenger? You think he should just be able to do what he wants? You guys let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.